thank you very much. I'd like my panellists to come up as well. We'll get the first panel session of the day underway. So we're going to be talking about revolutionizing TV distribution, operators at TV boxes, and pin down exactly what that is in a moment or two. First, let me introduce the panel to next to me, Sylvan Fenno, who is the Managing Director of the Nextv. Alongside him is Chris van der Linden, Director of Entertainment Platforms at Liberty Global. Delaney Koshol, who is Head of European Business Development TV ecosystem at Samsung, and Augusto Silva, Head of TV products delivery projects within Deutsche Telekom. We'll couple of moments just to everyone knows your companies, but say what you do within them, and maybe along the way actually try and sort of identify your interpretation of the app TV box. Yeah, so let me go first.
Hi everyone, good morning. So some of you know that for those who haven't followed the journey of Nigeria over the years, it was created in 1996 as one of the pioneers of TV, starting very much from the set-top box at the beginning, and evolving throughout the time we see more content, more devices, and clearly evolving to a cloud-based environment. Our vision though hasn't changed. Our vision originally for our founder was to create the best aggregation platform for all video content. If you think about what we do today, well, we have essentially super aggregator services serving around 20 operators in Europe, that's 3 million households. Essentially, the mission is the same, is to provide best quality content that's in terms of choice, simplicity of discovery, and also value. So originally this was based on set-top box that had access to mostly broadcast content, with adding recording capabilities, replay, and video on demand. And of course today, we have the large streaming services combined with fast channels, and more recently we added gaming, in fact cloud gaming, which is not a form of video content. So again, the mission is the same for us. The definition of the app in itself, I think we probably see the app as being the wrapper, so to provide the discovery of all that content, wherever it comes from.
Thank you very much. And Chris, I guess you also have a combination of things on various Liberty platforms of some boxes, some apps. What's the next?
Yeah, so our aim is not to sell boxes or apps, obviously. We're an operator ourselves, and quite a while back we control our own tech stack, which means that we try to be delivering our own services and products and B2B proposition and streaming proposition towards the customers in the way they want to consume those, which means that in some cases we give them small, elegant IPTV boxes. No one has no cables, it's Wi-Fi, just plug in the TV and consuming the streaming and TV. And I agree with you, by the way, that the definition of the distraction of the running after services will be okay. But also for customers that want to use their mobile phone or their Connect TV to consume the rest of TV. We actually build apps that are living on Samsung Dyson, on packages, on MVD platforms, to give them the same proposition. And obviously that's hard work, because there's obviously, I would say there's a bit of a platform fragmentation going on, and so we see more platforms coming up. We think of which is the type of OS. So, but we find a way to meet that to make sure that the core thing that we do is to bring that to the customers that we are successful at.
Okay, Charmaine, to you.
Yes, so hi everyone. I look after business development partnerships for the SaaS and Smart TV ecosystem, quite a mouthful, that is. And essentially what I do is work with media companies and content partners, telcos, operators, all European-based, and do strategic partnerships across various touch points of the SaaS and services ecosystem. Sometimes it spans mobile and TV as well, so services with hardware as well. And my main focus is around content and app discoverability on smart TVs. When I think about app TV boxes, firstly I never heard the phrase until I agreed to join the panel, but at first I thought it was a set-top box with apps on it, but now I believe it's essentially operator apps for your partners and clients that live on our platforms and various other platforms. And operations have always been aggregators, so it's not surprising that they're now aggregating apps onto their platforms.
Okay, and finally to Odessa.
First of all, good morning everyone. Again, a pleasure to be here and also see this very, very friendly faces and also new faces. So going back to this, so first of all, what I do and also what we do in Deutsche.com. So basically, we really take care of this unique experience across the multiple touch points. We also believe that we are not delivering an upgrade, delivering an experience to all of our customers, and it is also across multiple touch points and also multiple content touch points as well. So just to point out that this is the app not the proposition, but more the experience is already the proposition and the app itself that are targeting with us. Related to the life cycle, my team and also what I do, we take care of the whole life cycle, working with great partners together to really deliver, to set up, and also to build this unified experience in our products.
I guess in the roundabout way, we kind of always show business, we're just kind of getting into it through apps a lot of the time. Okay, let's look maybe at some of the individual strategies which you're using. Chris, you mentioned I think Apple TV amongst other things, but I guess there's a number of other sort of functions and boxes that you're contributing to. How do you then work that with sort of actually getting value out of it, if you like, with the content?
So first of all, I think that's also a bit of our DNA as local creators of TV. We believe that they get the best experience through taking our TV box and actually pursuing that we really use it.
So ideally, the customer, just to be clear, ideally the customer, you'd still rather the customer had a Liberty branded box, you know what I mean, whichever the affiliate is.
We managed to create on our set-top platform an integrated experience where streaming TV is treated the same way. So the way you discover the Mandalorian is exactly the same as Britain got that or whatever. So the UI is saying customers do not have to go in and out of apps to train the new UX. So first they have to decide what they watch and then see that you can the actual content. So there's obviously a benefit of controlling the end-to-end stack, hardware, software, and obviously the layers on top of that. I think when you are leaning into what customers' preference to like use a connected TV or to use casting or whatever, then you obviously land into I wouldn't say unknown territory, but at least somebody else's territory in terms of integration. So it does mean that in order to build an experience that customers are recognize familiar, it's also interoperable with any other service we might have, and also to give them the same experience of discovering content, this around the content portfolio that we're offering. There's some cases we are bundling also those streaming. And that's challenging, because obviously we're on somebody else's platform. So and there's a value trade required in order to get more out of somebody else's platform. So it doesn't mean that you're suddenly getting into the territory, so to be clear, you suddenly have to negotiate when your app is being placed and what you could be doing around deep linking or actually not, and who gets to monetize what, and what if you have what if you sell a customer a TV movie and the like, which obviously is also understood from their perspective, because obviously they also need to make money off of these platforms. I mean, it is, from a customer point of view, it's obviously more challenging because they still have this I have to go in and out of all these services. So there's always these Chinese walls sitting between streaming, TV, fast gaming, etc. That is not ubiquitous. So that's a challenge. But
there's also a strange thing you find sometimes where the button that does one thing for one app on your remote control, it suddenly does another thing when you're in another app.
Not just buttons, but look at watch list or profile. So hey, here's my profile here, and here's my watch list, and Netflix I need to scroll down for my continue watching, and this is actually on top. And where does the age spot or the promotional dial sit? And you as a customer, I think obviously you get used to it. At least I get used to it. Obviously, working in industry, but I would question whether the average customer, they probably can handle only 2 or 3 or maybe 4 different types of UXs, and then they get these stuff. So that's obviously also a hurdle for the content providers, because it means it's a hurdle towards discovering the content frictionless. You want to bring customers as quickly as possible to the content. UX, the best UX is no UX. Let's be very clear on that one. You want to, as soon as customers engage with content, they're fine, don't touch them anymore, they're consuming the content, they're engaged. But all the stuff in between, that's all just throwing hurdles.
Yeah. Well, so we're seeing some, I guess, the evolution, aren't we, of both hardware and software.
Yes, it's true. It's a fact. Basically, we are not dictating the rules. The rules are dictated by the industry itself. We are just trying to adapt it, I would say, serve this big way that is the new revolutionary industry. Basically, our mission here, first of all, as I mentioned before, is to deliver this value. Not just the apps, but the value itself. And that is why sometimes our position goes by, because we don't really want to have a set of box. We just want to use the current target that we have. And also, to be honest with ourselves, the demand and supply is getting so much challenging these days that we just need to be prepared for that. That is why we're back on also what Chris was mentioning. We just need to try to find the sweet spot between what we can deliver in terms of value and content, is user experience from fragmentation of profiles, fragmentation of building, fragmentation of search, and also fragmentation of UI, because we are also participating and sometimes not contributing positively with that, but in the end, we just need to find this win-win value ecosystem with our partners and also with the from building also to the content experience.
I do wonder with, obviously, if as an operator, if you're not dispatching set-top boxes to all of your customers, yes, that's a saving. However, there must be the development here and the development here and the development here to keep up with a number of different operating systems.
To be clear, the fact that we are simplifying customers' life doesn't mean that we also don't need to simplify our own platform ecosystem. We also have that responsibility to us, our teams, and also to our customers, because 2 different watch lists, as already mentioned, are a fragmentation experience. So the platform itself is also part of our unification of what we're doing to all of our customers in budget when it comes to the platform. To be clear, it's something that we are doing unified across all of the customers. The fact is, a customer today might not want to have a set of box, but the division might want it. We just want to be sure that that transition back and forth is going to be seamless to as well, also from the commercial relationship perspective.
And I guess, we'll see a slightly different perspective, a customer, their chosen television of choice might be a Samsung, and then you're seeing it from the other side of things.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, it's essentially providing the opportunity to our partners to on their journey, on their changing strategy of content aggregation and distribution, essentially. And as Chris mentioned, we run a very complex platform, and we do negotiate value exchanges for these kinds of opportunities to work with us.
So value exchange, unpack that a little for me. What kind of value exchange?
It's essentially we have something called a platform fee, which depends on the partner's business models. If you have multiple business models, you have 2 or 3 arrangements across all business models. Because essentially what we're doing is, we're giving our partners an opportunity to distribute content in new ways, and also to expand, hopefully grow their revenues, their user bases. So it's essentially looking at us as another distribution opportunity, right? And every distribution partner will negotiate a value for it.
That makes perfect sense. So now all these sort of beginning to discover, if you like, some of the sort of both advantages and disadvantages to consumers and operators alike. How do we make sure that these do actually add value in all of this and not start complicating things too much for everyone involved?
Let's stay back and think about what Chris and Gustav said in the operators. Our mission really is to help the operators to stay relevant with the best possible experience. So within that, of course, we have some clear guiding principles. We all know the challenge of fragmentation and the time it takes to discover content. I'm sure we mentioned that before, the first 22 minutes to find the content you want and so on. So we have a few guiding principles which are very important in terms of design of the experience, regardless of whether we are sitting on the mobile version or the application version, on essentially an both or we have the launcher, for example, having more than three clicks away to the actual content. That's maximum. And that's quite tricky, in effect, when you think about the number of journeys you can access the content from, essentially your various tribes, to your theme base, to your search, to your recommendations, to your favorite, and so on. So those are essentially these complicated principles. At the end of the day, I think what we really believe is essentially that, and that's to essentially create that relevance for the operators to still play a role, is to offer the choice that customers expect, to offer simple access, and to ensure that they see value. So earning is one of the parameters that the operators that we're working with operators to enable across the number of content. As I mentioned, for example, more recently we have the aggregation of fast channels, which obviously play to the equation of value, in the sense that you substitute cost of licensing content by essentially no cost or potentially even add revenue share. And those are the elements that allow essentially diversification of content while keeping relevance. I'll give you one example of the kind of discovery experience that we won't use the buzzword of AI or whatever it is. We all have smart aggregation platforms that do a lot of things. But I'll use a very basic example, which is in our service in France. It was actually the case of my father-in-law. You would obviously watch the equivalent of Match of the Day in France, which is run on L'équipe channel. And he didn't know any other better things to do because Match of the Day on Saturday is the equivalent in France. So knowing that, in our UI, we promoted a fast channel called Gold TV, which essentially has the best goals of all the European leagues. And essentially, he discovered that Gold TV. And now, he regularly becomes a user of that Gold TV channel. So those kind of simple journeys are the things that
It's interesting, because fast channels, as far as I'm aware, they always present on the old-fashioned linear grid, and then here we are talking about apps and fast channels actually being an essential part of the mix.
I think we see that. Whether you call it fast channel because there's a programming, or in fact, so the content has been open and is available on an AVOD basis, because the same titles is available on VOD basis, usually with pre-roll and before. The same principles apply, that you have to apply simple discovery and it has to stay relevant. So the case of my father-in-law, who's now hooked onto a fast channel, he never knew what it was before, but he found it because he was watching something similar.
Has the hit TV lost a viewer as a result of that? Does the to still goes back to that show?
Instead of watching, lots of old Western in the afternoon, you were actually watching the TV. But you don't need to miss the national television.
Of course. 122 minutes, that's roughly about an episode of Friends without the adverts, isn't it? I think. And the speed too that you mentioned of 3 clicks, gosh, that's challenging. And I guess this is one of the things, isn't it? The almost beginning to lose the inability to zap between pieces of content. You can't zap between the Mickey Mouse show and the Crown because you've got to come in and out of one app and into another.
True, and also to be honest, this zapping process that we also import in our adopted from our previous experience in linear TV. I think we still do mentally the zapping process. We zapping the news, we zapping the content, we also try to zapping the search experiences. So I think the most important thing is how we are able to go back and forth and not disrupting the ecosystem of the multiple unnecessary ecosystem. The reality itself is also an important part. Let's also say that we also mentioned here YouTube. YouTube is already being a very early adopter of multiple libraries in our content, looking at here or prepare for or even live video content. I think that this democratization that we're trying to bring even between, for example, YouTube space and other parts is extremely important. So going back to the part, this process of going back and forth between content, it has to provide mutual value, but also has to work for the end user. Just to finish one point, the best KPI that my team has been able to develop is time to content. If you basically use time to content KPI, I think that all of us together are going to basically improve the customer experience for that. Just to get an end decision.
It seems like this disability or lack of it to, we're almost mixing multiple ways of receiving, watching television, moving from a streaming to linear, which is still a thing, I guess will still be a thing for a few more years, and somehow trying to integrate all of these systems, which actually, by their very nature, don't necessarily sit well together.
Yes, it's true, because if you look at the previous benchmark that you saw the previous 24 hours, you also see this switch between the live TV and the TV. They change between different parts of the small region, which is called Europe, if you look into that. So if you don't build this kind of proper dynamics between the two worlds, it's very difficult to keep, I would say, balanced experience with the rest of the villages. For example, going back and forth. They go for YouTube, they go for Netflix, they go for the game, they go back and forth. That's why we need to play a role there. This is the major message. We need to understand how we're going to play that role, and we need to understand how we're going to democratize access, keeping our customer experience.
I think the key thing here is that, because, and I would say also to the fast and immediate discussion, in the end we need to separate content source and technology from user experience. Because I think the point that you raised on the verticality is, in the end you created, you promote the channel to it, it's what you want, but this can also be done on the masses. You created a channel, you presented it to it in a way that you understood how to get to it. And I think the setting is obviously, and I think that's where it's okay, which is step one, is we have to set the fast channels that we integrate into the linear channel. Not with the idea of putting hundreds of channels out there, because then you still need to create, you still need to pick and choose, help the customer and present it in a format that they understand. And so creating separating, so hiding the technology delivery from customers. Say, I already customer Mandalorian. Show Mandalorian as customers want to discover it in the same way as British Got and only take them into the technology at the last step, which is in this case deep linking into that, or deep linking into a fast channel, which is just a remote CDN software. And obviously the monetization was definitely problematic versus kind of the bars and the panels of this world. But in the end, customers are just watching this as if it's a linear channel. And there are linear channels out there that are, you could already consider AVOD channels that have been there for ages. I don't know, NetGeo, you could almost consider an AVOD channel because it's all kind of documentaries. And so the blur, we use too much technology lingo in discussing conversation. You got the monetization, you got the technology used, you got content source, and the experience needs to be used.
So I guess it means to read to the customer by the hand if an episode to pick up on your Mandalorian line, you can include an episode of The Mandalorian just available maybe even outside of the app, I guess, to start off with. We may not need to do that in 4 or 5 years' time because in the same way that the use of the +1 channel is a bit of a silly idea these days.
Yeah, I think that the no UX or the kind of the reducing the time to get to the content, it means that if you got also the metadata integrated to your platform, you can actually use Unify for the search and when you go around no more, it takes you straight to the Disney one. So it's I think that's how we move the visions by not presenting the fast versus linear. And I think some of our experiences, those are still compartmentalized and they need to be at least invisible from the customer.
John, now I'd like to talk a little bit about the integration of various streaming services. I guess at least at this time, our panelists here who are running platforms, they'll be offering all of the big services. You'll probably be approached by, I don't know, the Scottish Curling Channel or something because their association has decided it's going to get into the on-demand business. And that has to be integrated with the same skill set as a Netflix, as a Disney. So I don't know, how do you go about all of that?
Well, I think the trick lies in being the source that is able to digest all of this various types of content, premium content, very popular content, very niche content, not so popular content, because there are users for all sorts of different types of services. And you do that by automating the process, running like an app store, right? That's the whole point of an app store. And an app store has online terms and conditions. If you want to launch an app, you have to take and subscribe to those online terms and conditions. And that's the way we automate app delivery via content from various sources. And for premium partners and for operators, there are people like me who will essentially, talk to them about having a more meaningful strategic partnership, like I said, across our various services of the ecosystem, and then talk about their needs to be more discoverable on our platform, and then align with them their strategies going forward.
And presumably that has any new launch. If there's somebody who's appearing on the platform for the first time, presumably you can come to some business arrangement where, say, for the first 3 months or however long it is, they maybe get a prime spot early on that first page.
We can do various things, but operators can pretty much, if they want, launch their services onto our app store without talking to me, but then they have to say yes to the online terms and conditions.
I guess it's that special, be it curling, be it horse riding, be it golf, possibly another example. The fans will have other means, be it through their news sites they use, the magazines they buy, magazines sort of thing, in order to get the information about that. So, I guess in a way they can read that somewhere else, do a search, do it by voice or by typing into your operating system and the ecosystem, and then get the channel download they're looking for.
Exactly. And there's various ways, right? So essentially, for app partners who want to focus on discoverability and users to see their content quickly, we have means to reload their apps onto the devices. So then that removes the friction of the user journey for users to get into the content that they want to see. But with a long tail of content, the user will search for it. Hopefully, the discovery and search will work, and then with the app store, download the app, then try and put it somewhere on the TVs, watch the content, and then you have various means. Essentially, you have to run an advertising platform as well. That's another way for our app partners to service their content.
So little old-fashioned running around with the channels.
Exactly.
So somebody's never changed, do they?
I just feel, what a fast channel is it? There's still content essentially stitched together, kind of advertising, which is really a model. So I think things don't change. I think new things come up, old models adapt, and then they find ways to coexist. But there's always adaptation and evolution that happens in this world.
Also, Chris touched on sort of the concept of deep linking, and I guess that kind of promotion can be used to take people and hopefully then expose them to more content.
Yes, it's correct. I think it's a really good way to provide, I would say, a directional ideal communication between different domains of content. I would put it like this. This is how I see deep linking dynamics between multiple content sources to provide a seamless experience. I think going back to the deep linking part, I think the most important thing that, for example, as I already mentioned, we have also mentioned technology networks, AI, machine learning, LLM, voice, the dialogue with customers, trying to understand what they really want to do, what they want to interact, how they want to interact. All of this, in the end, needs to provide the context about the deep linking. I would say that more important than the deep linking is the context that prompts you to go to that specific content. In other words, if I really want to jump to watch, for example, an MLS sports content in Apple, or for example, I really want to jump for watch Eurovision contest live, like this or something like that, it's important to also capture the context of the deep linking, because that will also allow that seamless experience with the content itself. This is why it's important to us to understand how these dynamics are going to still keep impact from the customer experience.
The object at the end of the day is to keep the customer in front of your screen for as well, as long as it makes them happy, as much as anything else. Chris, the catalogue information, the ability to, I guess, see beyond deep linking and what's available in a library, and maybe promote that to customers either individually or to a market subset. That's also an interesting part of the mix here.
It's still the same experience of aggregation. So obviously working close. In the past we were closely with broadcasters about promoting their content, and now we see it also with other people, right? So we got the catalogs, we got the data there, and the platform enables different promotion styles, such around Olympics or a new show that's on Disney, or something that's actually going to be popular on linear TV tonight. So, and you're certainly the same ways within the UI, and obviously you work closely with the content partners to give a podium for their content, and you can set that based on kind of like, hey, customers are maybe more traditionally that you get a little bit more presence of programming that's originating from linear TV versus others that are maybe more into binging, and you give them more of the new season of Stranger Things coming up. So, but that's very much, that's no different from how we do in the past. Obviously, with the modern UX, you have more tools in the toolbox to actually give presence and give a volume to that content. You know, it's very sourceful.
Okay, so I want to come on to, I guess, some of the optimization of these things. The weekend I went for a couple of days away with my wife in York, which is a very nice place to go to, totally recommend it. I had the world's oldest smart TV in the hotel room. It was a nice hotel room, but the TV, if it being any older, it would be black and white. And this is the challenge I would suggest for operators is offering a consistent experience, offering the latest experience, whilst of course relying on a TV display that may be 5, 6, 7, I'd say even older than the case of the TV I found.
To be honest, and it's an interesting topic you mentioned, because in some regions people they still have CRTs, and this is just a technical joke. Even my quality assurance teams find some of these devices for testing, they have to go for example, just for testing at the end. But this is still something that we know, especially in some markets. We do have, I would say some fallback solutions, but also I think that technology is not the big problem or the solution in this case. I think the biggest challenge is also from those perspectives, we really want to deliver our experience in those very old, I would say, old TV experience, or we also want to start moving around, because this trade-off discussion between cost versus value, especially around these legacy devices, it's something that is part of our continuous life cycle discussion, but there is a breaking point where you should basically reach, because it's a market we don't need, to be honest, but if you can do it, you should try to do it, because otherwise that experience itself is going to be, I would say, burdened by the capabilities of such devices.
Because it's a box, you can send your box to the customer in the post perhaps. If it's a TV, you can't tell your customer to buy any TV.
Or you can sell them the TV as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. Because I guess all your tech people, wouldn't be too happy with making goodness knows how many different versions of everything, even if it's small changes.
I think we're very kind of productive with that. So obviously we had the whole download the digital wave, and yes, we got still people out there using their SCART interface. So getting smaller and smaller, but yeah, you still encounter that as well. And yes, I think we made a long way also not just kind of forget about TVs, but there's also a lot of legacy with regards to boxes. So moving them to IPTV dongles, I would say, because I kind of start disliking the word set-top boxes. Our set-top box is no different, price-wise, functionality-wise, than a Google Chrome. So you may as well pick it up from the distance of the media mod. So moving customers towards the newest box, helping them also doing lots of promotion with Samsung, but also with others, about giving customers easy access into new TV panels to really make them ride the wave. And yes, sometimes boxes can be used to turn non-smart TVs into smart TVs, and sometimes the customer already has the TV and we're simply jumping on, and sometimes customers have connected TV, also like our experience. So you encounter all shapes and forms, but obviously the idea is need to make sure that the majority of the customers is enjoying the latest generation product, because we also see that in churn numbers and customer satisfaction, is that if the base is sitting on the latest generation of boxes, they are more involved, they understand service, they can access the apps in the right way. So in the end, why would they want to pick up a different viewpoint?
Of course, and I guess, if somebody bought themselves a nice new Samsung TV, they might be moving the old one into the bedroom or into the office, where maybe a dongle is the right solution.
Yeah, but it's also from our perspective, it's sometimes also a bit strange is that you have legacy set boxes out there that you expect like great, these are really old traditional because they didn't switch to new set boxes. But actually they're not useful anymore because they bought themselves new and actually it's just used to kind of what's the name. I think one of the things that I would say we're kind of missing in this landscape is the traditional DVD world. You had actually, especially CF Plus, you had a seamless integration between operator and TV. And you just stick the antenna in, and obviously your TV guys start operating in. And I think in the IP world, that symbiosis is somehow kind of lost because all the operators are pushed into the end domain. Operator care, custom just exist on set boxes. That program does not exist for TV panels. And I think that's definitely step. Look back at kind of how DVD works, how you have this perfect symbiosis about operator delivering the content and the bundle, and obviously the TV OEM provided the panel and kind of software that made it better. And that symbiosis is lost since we transitioned from DVD to IP, because operators are now treated like very vertical content creators as well. We're sitting side by side with, I don't know, IPTX.
Yeah, very good point actually on that. So I guess one way of linking together my CTV with an app box somewhere, the UI, if it's consistent, then the customer feels at home with what the operator is giving them.
I think there are two ways of looking at this. Of course, when you read very screen UI, you want some reverse consistency. So the mobile history from the on-moving screen, there's to be the similar features, similar functions. And then I think we will do that on the platform to make sure that there is consistency in functionality and in the look and feel. However, what we try to do as much as possible is to understand the context of each device is used. And typically, for example, more and more on mobile devices, we are actually adapting the UI to essentially different approach. So typically, we are classifying the discovery in two parts. One is a pull discovery and one is a push discovery. So the push discovery is basically what you would expect to see in the in-app experience on the TV. The user needs to see something that is pushed to him, because it's actually, you want that to be shot as much as possible, no more than 3 pixels. On the mobile device, we have a similar experience, and in fact, even the level interaction with the screen, we're working towards more experience which are, let's say, TikTok live, where you can actually scroll vertically, you can actually see a preview of the video, things that you will actually do automatically on the screen, and more, including a slightly more engaged story, that's what we call the full story. For example, search will actually include more parameters on something you can click with your fingers that you can't really ignore because clicking 5-6 times. You can do it with search, of course, but on the mobile, you actually have more parameters such as giving all the movies which are for PG-12, because you want to watch something with kids. You navigate through a pre-selection, you actually have to scroll and see preview, and then once you make the selection, you cast it to the screen. So, whilst the UI is consistent, in fact, there are slight variations for some of the UX which you'll see.
And it's one of these panels where I have more questions left and I have minutes left in which to answer them. So I'm going to finish off by asking all their panelists what they think the next big thing is going to be in App TV. And I'll start work our way towards them. We'll start off with Augusta.
I would call it in one word simplification. Simplification because the generation gap is getting very, very close to all of us, and we need to cater that simplification process to our customers. This is how we define building simplification, using the regards to simplification, also the content engagement. This is what all of us we want to bring to our customers. Because technology will always be there, all of the AI and ML and all those parts will also be there. But that simplification is what we want to bring as an enabler for our customers.
I would agree with that. Is actually to remove user confusion, user frustration by using new technologies. I'm very hopeful about artificial intelligence playing a big role in both discovery and recommendation, but also personalization. And so, yes, simplification, user experience improvement is very important for all types of platforms, ours and operators.
Chris.
Just be there, I think also building on be there where the customer wants you to be and show value and leads that. It leads the experience, the platform that the customer chooses to use. Make sure that you get that person to show the value that they're paying for your service.
Okay, so
To stay relevant, it is careful about this. Keeping the choice, the simplicity that we talked about earlier. I think as we've seen the technology and content landscape evolving quite a lot over the last few years, we developed in embracing essentially what the users will enjoy watching. So YouTube was mentioned. It's now, I think, 20% of usage across our state, and it's something that we probably didn't see 10 years ago. That's YouTube, 20% of the time on those activities. So similarly, we are very excited about embracing a form of video content which in fact is more interactive in the form of cloud gaming that introduces opportunities for operators in particular to differentiate by bringing, for example, a game related to Roland Garros is at playing, you want Roland Garros, you want to play a game, you can actually be involved as well. So stay open, but obviously keep the simplicity around.
okay, I love to play Roland Garros, but hand-on coordination, unfortunately. Thank you very much, everyone, for starting the talk today, and show your appreciation for the panel.